I don't know if this is on already. I can never tell. Okay. I think I have it working. I'm not sure. If not, I'll be talking to myself and then I'll just upload this later. So, we're about a week away from Christmas. I figured I'd just jump on and give everybody an update. Gonna start filming some new videos after the holidays. So we have a couple ideas, a couple different things that we're working on. So, for everybody subscribe, we appreciate it. And we're gonna be putting out some more stuff. I have a couple different ideas for some music videos. I call them music videos. They're not really, they're videos that are set to music. It's not like an old ECW style music video or something like that. But we're gonna put some of those stuff out, and I have a couple things I did want to talk about, and then I wanted to show. I keep getting people who are asking about like behind the scenes photos, essentially. So I have some kind of recent ones, and I didn't go through them ahead of time, so I'm not sure if it's anything good. Um, so somebody just hello, hey, how you doing? So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this up if I can. Okay, so let me go to here, and I'll shrink myself here into the corner here, and then I'll blow this one up. I can shrink myself down further here, probably. So these are just some ones. Either I took these with a camera or I took them with my cell phone or whatever, and it's just stuff that's going on during the show. Um, so this was, I guess, a promo or an interview that one of the guys were doing. A lot of times, we're lucky that we have guys who will just take the initiative. Because on the day of the show, it's very hard to get everybody together and kind of figure out promos for everybody. So we're lucky that we have a couple guys who will take the initiative and go out there and then film some stuff by themselves, and then kind of send it to us later on, so that 2 weeks down the road, when we're like, oh, I wish I did this and I wish I got that, we have that footage. This was one of those cases because I didn't tell them to do this, and I don't even know that I ever saw this. So this might have been, they might have posted in like a Facebook Live or something like that. And Tommy Danger, you have inspired me to start my own wrestling promotion, and it is launching in the summer of 2022. Oh, very cool. Where are you based out of? It's funny because I had a wrestling character named Tommy Lee Danger when I was a young kid, and then we kept passing that gimmick along um, until we finally made somebody get stuck with it. There you can see Vin was that's Vin. Vin's been on this channel a couple times. That's I guess he's in the process of filming one of those promos. Rockwell with his that's a guy named Chris Rockwell. He wrestles now as Clutch Rockwell. Just a bad idea for makeup. Yeah, this must have been that same day with the promos. So I don't know that I ever saw this promo. Whatever they were filming here, I think they just kind of took the initiative and did it themselves. This was meant to be cropped. This was just taking a photo of what the Super 8 trophy looked like, so we could have it for um, posters and stuff like that. And some of these I did get sent. Like, I didn't take this photo. I think one of the guys who helps us with ring crew and stuff like that took that and sent it to me. Um, the one thing I did want to mention, because I saw John Finnegan here in the background, is in March we're actually doing a referee seminar for aspiring referees, but it's really for anybody who's kind of looking to figure out the what goes on in the ring. We have the seminars going on with John Finnegan, Jim Molyneux, and Mike Keener, all from ECW, and of course a ton of other promotions, and that's happening in March. Um, So I encourage anybody who's interested and in the New Jersey area around that time um, to check that out. It's real cheap. We're literally just splitting the money between the three of them. We're not making any money off of it. It's just one of those things that we feel is important to do for the sport. So we're doing it. I'm going to try to film some stuff and throw it here on the channel, but definitely I'm not going to put the whole thing up. And so for anybody who's wondering, like, what do I got to do to be on your shows, or if I'm looking to be a ref, what do I need to do? That's it. That's the answer right there. You got to put the work in, and there's not a ton of ways for a referee to improve, right? Other than in-ring time. And with that seminar, you're going to get the benefit of over 100 years of in-ring experience from three guys who've kind of been everywhere. So this must have been, we were taking promo pictures for something, I don't know. And this is when we were doing the Super 8 kind of gallery. Western Pennsylvania, so that's got to be like Pittsburgh and stuff like that. Very cool. And then, we're lucky enough where we have a couple of photographers who come to the shows. So we had a photographer here and then one right here with this kind of yellow background. So obviously this was not a professional shot. This was me taking it with my cell phone, but the photographer does a great job. It was a guy named Frank, and the other guy's name is escaping me at the moment, but he only came to the one show. Looks like Rockwell's picking his nose. And so here's the idea that I thought was really cool, but nobody really was into. So like our whole thing is like ECWA is kind of like this old school promotion. So I sold the Super 8 on like VHS. Like you could buy a VHS, but there was only going to be whatever it is, these 10 or 12 or whatever it is copies, and I had everybody who's in the Super 8 sign them. I'm like, that's a really cool idea in my head. Turns out nobody really wanted them. So as years have gone on, or as the 2 years have passed, more people have wanted them, but I'm not selling them right now, so they're just kind of in storage. But the demand is actually greater since I took them off the website than they were for the year it was on the website. So let that be a lesson to you. Some things can just gain value. This was I guess I had taken pictures with a Polaroid here because that looks like a scan of a Polaroid. The same thing. It was that same photo just with a Polaroid. That's not an app. That's an actual Polaroid that I then scanned. I actually just like the look of Polaroids, but the problem is our venue is pretty dark, so like unless you're real close, none of the pictures ever come out. And this is when we were renting the ring, so we had a crew that was setting up the ring for us. This is actually one of the last times we were able to use them until we got the ring we're using now that we currently have. Mike Law wanted to take 1 million pictures. This is from the if any of you guys saw it when Mike Law crashed his head through the chair, this was right afterwards, so you could see the red mark on his head. Yeah, it was pretty gnarly. I mean, we didn't know how bad it was because it happened so quick until I got home and threw that clip online, and it was like 500,000 people saw it after that. It was pretty crazy. In the span of like 3 days, it blew up, and it was on like that MTV show and stuff. So that was kind of cool. Your video about editing a wrestling show helped me out especially on getting video gear. Oh, cool! I actually just sold a bunch of cameras to get a new camera. I sold 4 camcorders that were they were 1080 but 1080p resolution, but they weren't really. They were older cameras, and it was really just to get a ton of angles. I was effectively using them as GoPros. What I use for GoPros, like time-lapse shots and stuff like that. They were really backup cameras, and I was just it was causing too much footage from every show. So I actually got rid of those. I got rid of one DSLR because I liked the mirrorless one better. And then I got rid of my little pocket camera that I keep on my side because because I found I was using my phone more often than anything else, and I actually just bought, I don't know if I can pick this up here, this camera. It's got a different lens on it right now, but this is not really to film the show with. This is for some vignettes and stuff. I just have a light on it right now because I was testing some stuff out. It's not going to have that for the shows, but it's a Blackmagic Cinema camera. So I don't know if it's going to be great for wrestling, but since somebody was talking about editing and video gear and stuff, I figured now's the time to show that. But yeah, I've been testing that out, and I really like how it looks. It's more complicated than the other cameras, so it's not run and gun, which is what I'm used to. But it is what it is. We'll see how good it is. So this is when we bought the ring. This is when we were picking it up. And we picked it up actually from Jim Molyneux, who's going to be in that seminar. It was actually his ring. That was backstage at I think that was the Super 8, or that was either at the Super 8 or right when Killian won that belt, which I think was the show right before the Super 8. So yeah, our next show, like, we have some tapings, but our next, like, ticket selling show is going to be the Super 8, so I'm excited about that. So that'll be in March. It's the same day as that seminar, so definitely come to that seminar if you're somebody who wants to get involved in wrestling, and you're one of those people who email me saying, hey, how do I get involved? That's it. So this was the setup we actually did when we live streamed the show ourselves. And we live streamed it right to IWTV, so we had a couple different monitors and stuff like that. So it was kind of a crazy setup. I think we did a lot more than we needed to. I think I think we could have got away with probably less camera angles and stuff like that, but whatever. We went all in. That's Molyneux, and that's Finnegan, and that's Joe Zanoli, who's like our figurehead character. He's been involved with ECWA since, I don't know, for the last 10 years or something like that. This was the Super 8, so that was Crowbar. I did not know we were selling chips at the Super 8. Look at that. I don't really deal with the food, so I never know what we're selling. And that is candy, I guess, from Dave. So this is when we had IWTV actually streaming the show themselves. You can see how less complicated their setup is, because they do this all the time, right? So it's profitable for them to spend a ton of money and kind of have I think their cameras are like $3,000 cameras and, you know, all that kind of stuff. And we were doing it with, you know, GoPros and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a little bit different of an environment. This was the last Super 8 we did, so the more recent one from this year. So this was, I don't know, April, May of this year. This was a show that this was actually my first ECWA show, I think, once I took over. Do you recommend the Blackmagic A10 Mini for live streaming? That's what I have right here. I'm not actually using it for, I don't know if I can lift it up without pulling all these wires. I'm not actually streaming with it right now. I was actually testing it with this camera. I don't know. I don't think it's great for wrestling, honestly, because you need everything to be HDMI. So you need long HDMI cables, but the longer you go, the less reliable those cables are. So we were having issues with the length of the cable, and the cameras were just dropping out, and we were thinking, okay, the battery died, or it got unplugged, or the cables. So, and most cameras, you'll notice, have a micro HDMI or mini HDMI. So you then have to deal with an adapter to the HDMI, then go into the switcher, and so you're dealing with 3 points of failure there. So I don't know that it's great for wrestling. I think it's better. I don't know what it's called, what they were using here. Okay, so it's not on screen, but they basically have like a black box that has SDI connectors. So SDI basically are, they're also called BNC connectors. Basically, you just put the connector on it and it locks in place. So if you're tugging on the camera, that cable's not going to come out. So I think something like that, or even that to an HDMI to the A10 Mini might be better. But I just don't know that this switcher, and that's why I bought it, was for wrestling. I didn't buy it for this channel or anything. So I really have no use for it other than wrestling. So I don't know that it's the best for that. I'm trying to make it work, and if I get a successful test and get everything to work the way I want it to, I'll definitely put a video out and explain exactly what we did. But we did one show, and I basically did 2 or 3 cameras, and all leading up to it, I had 5 or 6 cameras, and cameras just kept dropping out. Luckily, when the show happened, none of our cameras went down. Actually, one might have went down in the main event, but it didn't make the broadcast. So it was just a really big headache, so I don't know that I would say I recommend this just yet, because I haven't figured out the right situation for it just yet. Where your show's located at? I am in Morganville, New Jersey is where our shows are. So it's kind of Freehold, New Jersey, so central New Jersey. I'll just leave that up since it's the Christmas show. I saw somebody, I didn't know you could retract the message, but I saw somebody had asked if I recommended a 16 by 16 backyard ring, and that's what I used for a number of years. I don't have any pictures of it on here. I probably do in a different folder, but we used that for a long time. So I absolutely would recommend it. Yeah, this was the first show I took over. So I took this show, I don't know if I ever told this story on this channel, but I took over ECWA, and the idea was, he asked me on my birthday, which was November 30th, if I wanted to buy ECWA, and I was literally getting on a plane the next day. So I said, yeah, sure, let's talk. Can you call me now? And he couldn't talk. He's like, I'll call you tomorrow. So the next day, like I said, I was getting on a plane, and he's calling me, so I'm trying to work out this deal before I get on the plane. So I'm literally like the last one on the plane. We kind of get everything worked out. I land, I send him the money. The whole thing works out. But then he said, well, we do have a show in 3 days. And now I'm in Miami, Florida for the next 2 days. So I literally got home, had to figure out what I was doing with the show. Had to take some of the guys off the show because now it's my show. I got to get some of my guys on there. So it was a big confusing mess, and I'll have to go into the whole big fallout and the whole story on that in detail one day. But it was pretty chaotic, but it was fun, and the show was in Delaware, so it wasn't too far, but it was like a 2-hour drive, and that was after Sam won the belt. But looking for any wrestlers in the Jersey area. I have 6. No, I'm not really looking for any wrestlers right now. We have an email on our website, so if you're interested, you can always send an email there. That's the best way to get in touch. But it's not. I'm never gonna get wrestlers through this channel. It's not the intention of this channel. Just like I try really not to plug our shows too much, because I feel like this is more towards you guys doing some of the stuff that I'm doing. And finding your path to doing some of the stuff I've been lucky enough to do. So I don't have any plans of booking people through this channel. I mean, stranger things have happened, but it won't be today. I don't know what some of these pictures have just been dumped on here, so I don't know exactly what we're looking at. Like Teddy Fine just rolling around the ring. Yeah, so I also wear a, some of these might be from my, let's see if I have it. So I don't wear it anymore because it stopped working. But there was this camera a couple years ago. I don't know if you can see that. It's this big, so I would wear it on like if I had a button-up shirt, I could slide it in. It's got a little clip on the back. And basically this thing would take a picture every 30 seconds. And some of those pictures are unusable. Like blurry pictures like this, and then others are just the ground or looking up. You get a lot of like triple chin pictures and stuff like that, which is always great for your self-esteem. But that's why some of these just don't make any sense in there. You look at them and you're like, why would you take a picture of the floor? Or a blurry picture of Vince crotch. And it's just a shot backstage. So this is right before. Actually, the first match might have been on at this point, because it looks like either he's checking out the crowd or he's watching the first match. But I don't know. I can't see from here. If I'm trying to see if there's another referee. The first match might have been on at this point, but you can kind of see everybody starts to get antsy as the show progresses and starts to happen. So it's weird if you ever watch the time-lapse stuff of backstage, because I always have a camera backstage. Everybody's kind of sitting down and talking, and then as the show gets on, people start moving back and forth, and then everybody's standing, and you can really tell when the show's about to start just by everybody's movement, so that's kind of cool. And there's Vin. Oh, is that baby oil? I have actually this guy right here, Kyle, always does the Andre the Giant no baby oil voice, and it cracks me up every time. That was I think that was at a recent show actually, because we just started doing these banners, and that's one thing I'm working on, is trying to find a better way of hanging these banners, because I'm not really crazy about how they look. I have a 17 by 17 ring. Oh, awesome. You know what? That's weird. I've never heard of a 17 by 17. I've heard of 16 and 18. I've never seen a 17 ring. That's interesting. Oh, come on. Also, I did start a Discord, and I posted a link. I don't know if I can post the link anywhere else. Let me see if I can figure it out here. I don't know what to do with it. Everybody keeps asking me if I had one, and I've always just said no because I didn't know what it was. So I found out what it was. Still not really sure how to use it, but I'm gonna post a link in the chat here. So if anybody wants to join that, I don't know what it's supposed to do. I don't know if it's the questions, if it's a discussion. I don't know. But anyway, people have been asking me if I have one, so I do now, and I don't know how frequently I'll check it. But I have it open in a tab on my computer, so hopefully I don't forget about it. Okay, let's see. I think I'm almost here at the end, because I haven't uploaded all the pictures I have on my phone at this point. I know I have more. Backstage. Dave. Just hanging out. Yeah, see, some of these came out real blurry. And okay, so that's the beginning. So let me see if I have a picture of the, which one would that be? World 1, current, shows, what year would that be? Maybe this. Dave's mom. Dave's mom is who took the photos. In case you're wondering what that meant. Because I realize now as I'm looking at it, that might be a little weird. Okay, so this was our 16 by 16, and it looks like we were doing some pre-tapes ahead of time here. Yeah, we were doing a pre-tape, so we had a couple fans there. Let me see if I got a good shot of the ring somewhere. But this was a 16 by 16 ring, and this was what we were using for a long time, so I definitely would recommend a 16 by 16 ring. Alright, do I have any backstage photos here? Since it's Halloween themed, or Christmas themed, we'll go with the Thanksgiving bird. This was good because Vin really didn't want to do this, but he did it for the kids. This was a dream come true for us. We had a Pizza Hut wanted us to come in and do like a signing. So we came in, like, promoted our show, and I don't know if I've ever spoken about it on this channel, but I'm a huge Pizza Hut fan. Like, we so much so that we kind of made it into this guy's gimmick, is that he's a huge fan of Pizza Hut. Just because I love it. And so yeah, so it was kind of cool for us to go into Pizza Hut and like promote our show and stuff like that. Nobody came. I think these guys sold like 6 pictures in the hour they were there. But you know, they gave out some posters and stuff like that, so whatever. It was cool to be there. You know, you see, look at how excited. And this was like one of the only people who came. That was the manager at the time. I'm trying to see if there's anything else worth discussing. Is there a couple? Oh, here's a cool shot. So we had Dominic DeNucci at one of our shows. Came with Shane Douglas, and he came out to eat with us afterwards. So obviously he just passed away this year, I think. So I don't know why I'm upside down there, but so I don't know. That was kind of cool to meet him. You know, one of the last guys from, you know, Bruno's generation. I mean, those guys aren't around anymore. There's Finnegan. I don't know why some of these are upside down. Oh, there he is, Gary Michael Gapetta. It's my buddy. He's been to a couple of the shows over the years. And there's Jay not wearing pants. Yeah, so our venue gets a little hot during the summer. You could see. And he wasn't even in a match. This wasn't. He came out to do a promo. So yeah. So that's pretty much it. I just kind of wanted to update everybody where we were at. Obviously, I'm gonna try to get more stuff out after the holidays, and hope everybody has a good holiday, and everybody stays safe and all that kind of stuff. So if you do have any questions or anything like that, or discussion points, whatever the hell Discord is for, I guess put them in there. You can also comment on this video if you're watching this later on. I do try to respond, or at least like the comments that all come on here. So I do manage like 10 other YouTube channels, so I don't always remember it. But I always try, every time I log in, I try to go through the comments and answer any questions, or if it's something I get a lot, I try to make a video about it. So alright guys, well, like I said, have a happy holiday, and everybody stay safe. And again, if you're a person interested in joining pro wrestling and want to learn a little bit more about what goes on inside the ring, or you're an aspiring referee, March 26th is the date for you. You can get the tickets in advance at ecwawrestling.com. It's not going to be a day of the show. I'll just get tickets. You're gonna have to need them. You're gonna need them in advance. So again, I'm not making any money off of it, so I'm not plugging something to make myself rich. I'm not making a dime off it, I promise you. It's just something I think is important, and I think it'll help out the next generation. So if you can, join that if you're in the Jersey area or anything like that. Alright guys, have a happy holiday, and I'll